I have been looking forward to today for a very long time. Mostly because we are starting back up the new CRPG that we're going to be playing for the channel. I've got the itch back and I need to scratch it. And this time, since we just did Baldur's Gate 3, which was D&D based, I thought it would be quite appropriate to go to the other side of that flipped coin and play Pathfinder Kingmaker. Now, Pathfinder is my specific RPG, or tabletop RPG, of choice. It's what me and my friends play. I am much more familiar with the rules and all the other bits and pieces that go along with it. And to its credit, D&D is really, really fun. But Pathfinder to me is just a little bit more special because you can get really, really detailed in how you build your character. Especially when in this, the game version here, there is a specific game mechanic that so far, with our other CRPGs that we've played, hasn't really popped up. So, let's begin playing Kingmaker. If you have watched some of my previous CRPG playthroughs, you will know that I love to do something just a little bit different when it comes to each and every game. And this one is not an exception, because I have been toiling in my brain exactly what we are going to be doing since I learned, or at least figured out, what this game does differently. Now, yes, it still has all the turn-based RPG tabletop stuff. That's not really changed, except for the, Pathfinder rule set. This, however, the alignment chart is. Now, an alignment chart for people who play, any tabletop RPG isn't something new. It is a good baseline and sometimes mechanically necessary thing that gives us an understanding of where our character is. Say you are a paladin of a righteous god, you're probably going to be lawful good, or you're an absolute villain of an alchemist that loves, dissecting orphans. That's an inside joke for any of my friends might be watching. But yeah, you'd be chaotic evil. And, the alignment chart spins and spins and spins. However, in all of the CRPGs that both I have played and know about, there's not really an active check system. But there is in this. So I thought, since I am going into this completely blind, well, not completely blind, I have played the first few hours of this game. I'm not going to meta this, mind you, so I'm going to do my best to not pick and choose my decisions in a bad way. But for this playthrough of Pathfinder Kingmaker, I am going to start the game as neutral. And then I'm just going to make the decisions, or the best decisions, that I think is necessary for the scenario. What those may be, I have no idea. They could be wipe out an entire plague-filled village, just to make sure that it doesn't spread. That's probably a pretty lawful evil thing to do. Or it could be, I'm going to save somebody from being run over by an owlbear. That's pretty lawful good. I don't know. So, we're going to start with neutral and see where the alignment track goes by the end of the game. So with that thought process in mind, we have to actually go really, not in detail, but we have to be very choosy with our build and what we play as. And I've got two things in mind for that. The first thing is we cannot play anything that relies on alignment. So paladins and clerics. I think there's like a couple other subclass things. There are some things that if we stray too far from a certain alignment, we lose our abilities or our spells and things. So we are not choosing anything of that nature. The second thing, and I think is going to be the more interesting thing, is that I asked my friend a while back about this game, because it is probably his favorite game of all time. He has so many hours in it, he's done all the achievements, he's played through it so many times. So I asked him, what would you suggest being the best base stat? Because, you know, we don't want to meta this thing up, but I am going to want to give myself the best advantage here to get the right choices. So, tiny bit meta. And he said charisma is king in this game, which makes sense for the theming of what's going on here. If you don't know already on what this game is about, we are an adventurer set out to capture or reclaim a land that has been abandoned for many centuries or something, and we're essentially going to create a kingdom in it, which makes sense on why charisma would be the highest and best stat to use, because it's a lot of diplomatic talking. So with those two theory spots in mind, I think I know what we want to do. So we're going to have to go all the way back over here to class and choose something that fits that criteria. Now, we just played a bard in the previous playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3, so that's out, which is unfortunate because they are the charisma class, which is fine. We could, let's see, Paladin, I believe is charisma? I think it's charisma? It's actually been a while since I've played Pathfinder, so I don't remember many of these things. But I think it is charisma, because I know, yes, because I know Smite Evil damage bonuses go off charisma. But, like we said previously, we can't do anything that relies on a specific alignment. So Paladin's out, which goes down to here, Sorcerer. I have not played a true specific magic casting class. I've had mixed bags of both spells and combat. I mean, Divinity Original Sins, both 1 and 2, didn't really have a specific way to play in that sense, but Baldur's Gate 3 had a mix, and, you know, well, if you watched it, you'll know. But never truly have I done something extremely specific with magic. So I think that's what we're going to go for. We're going to go for a sorcerer. Now, with Pathfinder, unlike D&D, the class and subclass settings are quite different. In D&D, from what I understand, and what we've played with Baldur's Gate 3, you start with a class and then later on kind of pick a specialty. In Pathfinder, you get subclasses. These are classes that use the baseline abilities of the original class, but tweak certain things here and there in order to get specific with things. And that's what I really love about Pathfinder. Specifics. You can have the most detailed build that does one thing, but it does it super well. It's stupid. I love it. So, let's try and pick a subclass here. Okay, going back from the video, I've actually been planning this for a while, and I had the idea of running a sorcerer, and I wanted to do an arcane archer, because obviously with a sorcerer you're going to be squishy with low health, So I wanted to be casting spells, but also shooting a bow in the background, just to make sure that, I don't get hit as the main character. Unfortunately, we don't have Arcane Archer, at least it doesn't seem like we have Arcane Archer, in the prestige classes that are available to us. So, if you're also not familiar, prestige classes are technically other classes that you can level up as if you meet the prerequisites of that specific class. So basically, if you are a specific here, we'll pick Arcane Trickster, for example. So, I'd have to hit all of these prerequisites. Trickery of 4 mobility, some sneak attack, knowledge arcana. Some of these I can do, but the sneak attack I can't pull off, so I can't be an Arcane Trickster. If we go down even further, Dragon Disciple. I make some of the prerequisites, but I'm not... Well, I don't have a Draconic Bloodline. At least I don't think I'll have a Draconic Bloodline. Needless to say that once I hit the prerequisites for this prestige class, I can, instead of leveling up Sorcerer, pick this as a level up instead. There's give and take with these as well. Same thing with multi-classing. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing that. But needless to say, I think my idea originally has shifted, and I don't think I'm going to be going with a prestige class in this, which is unfortunate because there are some really fun prestige classes. In fact, the fact that I'm playing a sorcerer is a little unfortunate. I am an alchemist fiend. Alright, I love a specific build of an alchemist with exploding bullets. It is great. Hopefully we get that in Way of the Wicked. Or no, Wrath of the Righteous. Way of the Wicked is a completely different thing. But yeah, no, there's some shenanigans. Also, a rogue knife master. Oh, the rogue knife master has... I've actually done this build before. The difference between a rogue and a rogue knife master is that the sneak attack does more damage. Instead of a... Here we go. Instead of a d6, we do a d8 of damage. Which is around here. Evasion, rogue talents, blade sense. Where is it? We should be... Well, whatever the case may be, you do d8's worth of damage with your sneak attack, but you can only really use knives. But then you can couple that with a rogue talent where you get a bomb, or you get the ability of an alchemist bomb that goes off your sneak attack. So you have just a really good explosive. It was great. And rogues in Pathfinder are scary. But we're not... That's another day. That's another problem that we're gonna have to solve. I'm rambling because this is what I love to do. So we're gonna play Sorcerer. What subclass can we do? We have Ephemeral Sorcerer. Heavenly powers decree from insight rather than force of personality. That makes me think we're not going to be using Charisma as our casting stat, which I'm not seeing that. Our Sylvan Sorcerer, your ties to nature have more to do with creatures than with capriciousness. Don't know what that means. Oh, no, there it is, up here. I have an animal companion instead of a bloodline. Ooh, that could be fun. And then a Sage Sorcerer here. Magic comes from knowledge. Use your intelligence rather than charisma. Okay, so that's a no either. So either we go blank, or really not bland, but bog standard sorcerer, or maybe a Sylvan Sorcerer here. I mean, what kind of stuff do we get? The first thing I will say, because not only am I excited to be playing this for the first time, and, you know, like, really getting into it, we are still doing the usual review of the game itself. So, as a starting screen character creation part of the review here, I really like how everything is broken down and you can very easily understand what's going on. Granted, there's a lot of reading in Pathfinder, but the fact that this level progression, like, chart really does break down, okay, here's what all the things you learn in level 1. Yes, it's a lot, but don't worry. And then as you move forward, you're like, okay, I don't really get anything at level 2, except maybe more spells, because that's what sorcerers do. And then at level 3, we get Woodland Stride and Entangle. And then same for that. And then Hideous Laughter. Oh, Hideous Laughter. That's a little scary. Deep Slumber. We get Poison at 3rd level, and every 2 levels, therefore, a sorcerer learns an additional spell. Poison, calling upon the venomous power of natural horrible poison. Oh, I'm starting to lean. I'm starting to actually lean to Sylvan Sorcerer here. Vine Trap, what's this? Summon Neared. There's a thing with that. So, I mean, this is all the way up to level 20. I have no idea if... I mean, the fact that it actually says up to level 20 things you can get, I assume that you're going to be able to make it to level 20. Whether we're going to get that in the playthrough is another entire story. I have no idea. Oh, this actually seems really, really good. Well, okay, if I just go with Sorcerer, it's very bog standard in sense. I don't know if there's a difference between how many spells we get per... That's per class here. Sorcerer proficiencies... Cantrips, I mean always cantrips. Detect magic for free, that's pretty good. Bonus, oh, we get a bonus feat, that's nice. So what do we get? We got 4 level 1 spells. I can already kind of see there's some pretty good stuff here. What do we get from that? Level 5, we got 6. And, oh, okay, level 4 we get level 2s. I mean, it's not bad. So, okay, so it's 4, 5, 6, 3. If we go here, it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 3. Okay, the spell stuff doesn't change. So what's the downside? Oh, the only downside change is the Animal Companion and Bloodline. That's the only change. So maybe we go with an Animal Companion. I mean, I had the idea originally for Arcane Archer. We can keep that idea, kind of, but still kind of have some wiggle room here. And maybe the fact that I have an animal companion could be a good blocker for my spellcaster, which isn't going to have much health. That could actually be a not bad thing. Let's look at Bloodlines, though, before we do. We've got a ton of shit. Of course, we have the Draconic stuff. We have Elemental, Infernal. I don't know what a... Oh, it's a Serpentine. An Undead Bloodline. I don't really know if I want themed spells here. Or what kind of themed spells. It's just Arcane and Abyssal. I mean, we could go Fey. Fey Bloodline does give us pretty much the exact same thing as special abilities as we level up. But it doesn't give us an Animal Companion. So that's the trade-off. We do get all of this and an animal companion, but it's... You know, I think we're gonna go with the Sylvan Sorcerer. I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay. Granted, we also still have to pick our race, but we'll get to that. Actually, what are the races here? Not many. I mean, it's a good selection of races, but these are real base. You can be an Aasimar, though. That's not terrible. Gnome. The scary reality of a gnome. Our group of party, my friends, we did an all gnome campaign, and one of the big things we took away from that was leave gnome witnesses. So you can tell where that campaign went real fast. So I don't know what race. Maybe once we pick the animal companion here. Because I mean, all of this is okay. Humans, if we were going for something specific, because they get an extra feat at level 1, if we were going for something, a specific build, but I don't really have a build idea, which might bite me in the ass later on as the game progresses, because you need to be a little on top of what you are planning when you level up a character in Pathfinder. If you don't have at least somewhat of a plan of attack, things will destroy you. But let's go check animal companions here. So, a bear. Okay, a bear isn't half bad. That's a pretty decent, chunky animal. A boar, not that chunky. Where is its health? Ability score is strength. We're looking at con here. That's 13. Con's 15, actually, for a boar. That's not bad. A dog. No, I'm not feeling it. An elk. Big old deer. A gore and 2 hooves. That's not terrible. Giant centipede. That thing has poison. Can't be tripped. There's some good stuff. Very squishy, though. Centipede, very squishy, and I don't know how. Yeah, it has a 1d6 poisonous bite. Ooh. Giant centipede can be scary. Leopard, big cat. Can it learn pounce? Gains pounce. Ooh, pounce can be quite scary. I'm sorry, is that, I can have an elephant? Con is 13. It's actually quite average when you look at its stats. It has gore and slam, 7th level, size become large. Oh, 7 natural armor plus 4 once it's level 7. What's the natural armor for the bear here? 6 and... It's arguably not as good as some of the others here. But the fact that I can have an elephant is funny. That also becomes large. Monitor lizard... Not bad. We have an animal companion, Smilodon, whatever that is. Is that a dinosaur? It could be. Pathfinder has some really fun dinosaurs. It's not very strong necessarily, although it has 4 claw attacks. As a full round action, 4 claw attacks and a bite can do some serious damage. And it can gain pounce. So the reason I'm excited about pounce is because you can do a charge action with pounce. Normally when you do a charge action, you get 1 attack after. A charge action with pounce lets you do your full range of attacks. At least I think that's what I remember. Again, it's been a while. But with essentially 5 attacks and pounce, you can shred somebody. Especially if you buff up the animal companion enough to do more than a D4 on those claws. I'm torn. I'm so fucking torn right now because a mastodon is funny. And it's not as tanky as it could be. Ooh, wait a minute. This game's trample. Oh, do I go pounce or trample? Because trample, unlike pounce where you can, do your attack and then do all of your attacks at once, trample is basically a charge attack where you hit somebody, but keep going and basically just run a few people over at the same time. So, do I want just line straight through people or just a shredder? I think I'm going to go Mastodon because I think it's just ridiculous enough to maybe work. So, okay, a Mastodon. Oh, now my brain is turning here. What if we're going to get a big fucking elephant? What if we were just small? What if... I'm not picking a gnome. There are some real bad implications if I pick a gnome here. What if I pick a halfling? Because halflings aren't that bad. Halfling luck is good. Plus one to all saving throws. Keen senses. On perception checks, although I don't think I have perception as a trained skill as a sorcerer. Still, +2 is fine. Athletics and mobility, which is good because I'm not going to have great strength, because I am a gnome. Slow movement, 20 speed, because my legs are tiny. Fearless is also not bad. And this stacks with halfling luck, so that's actually a +3 against fear. Halfling might not be a bad idea. I mean, I could choose a dwarf, but what's funnier? A dwarf with an elephant or a halfling riding an elephant? I think the halfling riding an elephant is funnier. Ooh! And if that's the case, let me take a drink first. We gotta pick a picture. What do we want for a picture? My favorite obviously being this one. She's pretty. I can fix her. If we were playing the Arcane Archer, we could probably do this. That looks like a gnome. You look like a gnome. So no. That looks very religious. So no, or clerical. Just a dude. There's not many pictures here. Who are you? Oh, you're the fancy type, aren't you? I think I know that picture. That one looks familiar to me for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, that's... That's not bad. Not this one. Oh, that's not bad, too. Because I want gnome-sized here. I like it, but I don't like the face script here. I think you're a dwarf. No, I think that's a gnome. It might be a gnome or a dwarf. I don't know. I'm leaning between this one, which looks more... Actually, it looks more roguish, because she looks like she's got some fiber wire and she's ready to choke a bitch out. All Hitman style. I think this one makes sense. I'm gonna go with this one. Okay. So we're a gnome. Now we're putting our points into stuff. Well, obviously we want to bump up... Oh, okay. Charisma's already bumped up to as high as it can go here. Oh, you know why? I know why. It's because to get to the whole character portrait thing at the end where I was doing the start of this, I had to I had to fill in all of the stuff in order to progress. Which, I'll be very honest, I was very confused at. But I'll just set it to this. Alright, for now we'll set it to this. Obviously, we're gonna... Ooh, we can go up to 20. Yay, because ability points and stuff. We'll hit it up to 20 as a starting point, because stats in Pathfinder can get stupid. Want to go... How far can I go here? Do I want it to be on a 15 for my dex? Because that's going to get me a +2 dodge bonus. And the +5 to charisma not only is going to do for good modifiers, but it's also, I think, going to get me more spells. I mean, -2 strength. I have a -2 modifier for strength. Does get itself balanced out because of the halfling stuff. So we're at athletics and mobility at a 0 instead of -1 modifier. Actually, in fact, we have not terrible stuff. Do I want con? Do I at least want to go to 12? Not, no? I could even drop it to get myself an extra point there. I don't think so. I think I want to add intelligence or wisdom here. What do I roll for here? I think it's intelligence. So if I go +1 on intelligence and wisdom, I'm going to get some nice bonuses for our skills. I have one more point here. Do I put it up to 13? And that way, if I get like another level in intelligence, that'll at least get to +2 in the skills. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave that. Okay. So, with that, we can now allocate skill points. Now, I'm realizing right here and now, there are This is a pared down skill menu. Holy shit, there is like twice the amount of skills actually in a Pathfinder sheet. This is pared down to hell, which isn't a bad thing. Alright, but I think definitely we want to put a point in persuasion, so now we have a +9 to that. We could do, since I am animal companion class Sylvan sorcerer, let's put a point into nature, because theming. And while I could put something into arcana, I think magical device wouldn't be the worst. Because I'm going to be a very backline focused person. Maybe a wand or two wouldn't be terrible. And failure chance to those. I'd rather not have a wand of fireball explode on me. Yeah. So, okay. That can work. I do know that skill check wise, so skill check wise is party based rather than individual. I know I don't know if you realize this, Baldur's Gate 3. That was individual stat based when doing skills. So for instance, if there was a trap, the first person to walk up to it would roll their perception check to see if there's a trap, and if they rolled poorly, they'd miss it. Then the next person would go up and check it. They'd miss it. Third person, see it possibly. Fourth person and whatnot. In this is party-based skill checks. So if you come across a trap on the floor in this, the highest score will roll for the party rather than the first person to run into the said trap. So it doesn't really matter some of the time here what our skills are going to be. We're definitely going to need to make a balanced party and fill these skills out well enough. But for now, because I don't know any of the characters, I think I think this is fine. If I'm starting off and building a character, this is fine. Abilities, let's go. Okay, so, I'm gonna rearrange myself in my chair. So what do we have here? Looking at the list right now, it's not that long, which is fine. There are fuck tons of feats and feat tree things in... Oh, hide available, hide unavailable. Look how small that becomes. Oh, there's a lot more feats in here than I thought there would be. Oh, shit. Okay. For now, though, we won't worry about that right now. I'll have to actually look up a feat tree for these things. It's recommending me 2 spells. Point Blank Shot. You get a +1 bonus in attacks and damage rolls. Actually, no, wait. Fair question. If I go down here, do they have E, G, where's P? Elemental P. Penetrating Strike, Point Blank Master. Here it is, Precise Shot. Needs point blank. You can shoot or throw ranged weapons at an opponent engaged in melee without taking the standard -4 penalty. Okay. We need that. See, this is what I meant when I said you need to know what you're building into, because there are feat trees in Pathfinder, and this is how you can get really precise characters. Normally, if we are fighting and shooting a ranged bow or crossbow or something into combat, where our companion and another person are locked in combat, we take a penalty, and that precise shot there is a very necessary ability and feat. So I think when it comes to our idea on how we're going to play this character, Point Blank Shot is absolutely something we are going to need, and the next time we get a feat, we're going to need Precise Shot. So those are unfortunately necessary feats. We can't really play around with that. We'll see what we can do later, and I know that kind of builds into trees. I'm saying feat trees here. For those who do not play Pathfinder, a feat tree is essentially a list of feats that you can take that need to have the feat previous to it in order to unlock it. So for this, Point Blank Shot is necessary to be able to unlock and get Precise Shot, which then allows you to then unlock something like Rapid Fire. So if you want a specific feat and you need their prerequisites, you need those feats as well in order to get it. It's kind of where the power scaling comes from, of you can't be a jack of all trades all the time. Maybe some bards can be, but you are supposed to be a very specific role, but that specific role can be a monster. So I'm kind of probably going to fill out the ranged spellcaster role, more on the ranged side of things. So that's okay. We'll have to think about that when we come across some of our companions and which ones we want to keep around. Now, I get a second because I get a bonus sorcerer feat. Spell focus is not terrible, but because I'm not entirely sure what kind of spells we're gonna be getting into or choosing from, I don't want to pigeonhole myself into a specific type of spell, into a class of spells. So I'm not going to take spell focus yet. I might take it later on when I've kind of figured out my spell casting abilities. Combat casting's pretty good. When threatened or disadvantaged, I get +4 on the concentration checks. Unlike in D&D, where it's if you get hit, You need to roll those oh wait, no, we still would get concentration checks. Still, ooh, combat casting might be. Elemental focus, same thing as spell focus, only with elements. We got a fuck ton of meta magic stuff here. But that's not really going to come into play until I get higher spell slots. Spell penetration, however, breaks through spell resistance easily than most, +2 bonus to caster levels. Okay. I'm picking spell penetration. For the very, very smart reason of, normally, when I'm playing with my friends, most of us, all the people who have DM'd, we kind of hand-wave spell penetration, or at least don't really understand exactly how it works necessarily. So we kind of be like, it's fine, we don't need to worry about that. The spell works, it's fine. But this is a video game, and the DM in this is programmed to be mean. I mean, we've seen it in Larian Studios. I don't know how Owlcat's DMing style is. But if it's anything like Larian, we are going to be fucked when it comes to fairness. So I think spell penetration might not be the worst idea here. So I just have a leg up just a little bit. I don't think it's going to come into play quite soon enough. But having it between level 1 and, what level is it? Bloodline feat selection, level 7? Yeah, I think by the time we get to like 5 or 6, maybe even 4, that might start showing itself. So getting it now might not be the worst idea, especially if I'm going to start casting debuffs like Hideous Laughter. Well, not a debuff per se, but it's you know, scary. Okay, so Point Blank is a good feat tree to start on, and Spell Penetration is just a really fundamentally good feat to choose. At least at this point. I'm worried that I'm not going to be getting many feats. Oh, no, wouldn't I be getting stuff when leveling? Because you also automatically get feats. Oh, yeah, no, it's up here. We get, it's a little separate. I'm surprised that's actually separate. That should be merged a little bit lower. It says here, up here. So, okay, the next feat I get is going to be at level 3. Then at level 7. Yes? No, this is level 5. 3, 5. Yeah, it's every 2 levels? Along with the skill upgrade and Okay, so we are going to be getting more feats than it looks like. Okay, that could be merged a little bit closer, but okay, that nitpick on that. Spells. I do not know what we are in for here. So, Burning Hands, not terrible. Cause Fear. Depends on what I'm up against. I don't know what we're up against, to be fair. There could be a heavy-handedness of just human enemies or bandits, because I know we're going to be fighting a lot of bandits. But I don't know how many creatures we're going to be fighting. So maybe Cause Fear wouldn't be the best. Hey now, Color Spray. Early level Color Spray is scary. I'm going to put on Color Spray. That could be horrifying. Okay. Corrosive Touch. 1d4. There is scaling, but 5d4. Ear-piercing Scream. Also not terrible, but I have a bow, so... Enlarge Person? I could enlarge the Mammoth. I can enlarge the Mammoth. Okay, we'll hold that for now. That could be useful. Expeditious Retreat, not bad. Not one of my favorites. Flare Burst. Dazzle, and 10-foot radius. Creature's dazed. Situational. Grease, never a bad spell. I mean, once I get more spell slots here, it's like Grease is going in it. Absolutely. But this is just the start here. Hurricane Bow. Arrow carried. Oh, hello. I know you. I'm more familiar with you being called Gravity Bow, though. But that might be just a ranger thing, not a sorcerer. I don't know. Ooh. Hurricane Bow, because I'm... no. Now I have some choices to make here. Hypnotism. Honestly, doing sleep and hit die stuff is good, but... maybe not this early. Mage Armor, fine. Magic Missile. I mean, it's a solid thing. Protection from alignment. Ray of Enfeeblement can be devastating. Ray of Sickness, or Sickening. Shocking Grasp, again, also sleep, kind of like Hypnosis, but not really. Snowball. Just basically throw a snowball at someone. Stone Fist. Oh, that's a melee thing. We don't want that. Stunning Barrier. Summon Monster 1. Could be good. If we need another body, but at level 1, maybe a couple more levels. Gracelessness, True Strike, Vanish. Okay. This is a good selection. I want to say, very good selection here. Oh, now I don't know. Okay, so I'm keeping Enlarged Person. Because if I can make the mammoth large, and then when it is large, huge, that's just funny. Again, that's just gonna be funny. So I want that. However, Color Spray. Do I think I would use Color Spray more than Hurricane Bow? Color Spray is vivid. Nope. I'm right-clicking here. Why is it not? Alright. It's not doing something that I thought it would do. Anyway. Vivid Cone, Crushing Colors. And this is a hit die thing. But it's like, if you fail the thing and you are 2 hit die or less, the creature is blinded, stunned, and knocked prone for so many fucking rounds. And then, depending on if you have more or less hit die, it greatens or lessers that. Early on, this is a just horrifying thing to cast at people. Oh, I've seen it used in nefarious ways, and it is a solid early level spell. But it's only really good early level. I think later on I can switch out spells, because Sorcerer here gets to pick spells and cast them, but has its own little pool of spells that, unlike a cleric per se, where they get all the spells but they need to prepare them. This is there's a specific name for the casting type. But the fact that Hurricane Bow is here too, I mean, this is only a difference between level 1 and level 2, mind you, because as soon as I hit level 2, the decision isn't going to be necessary. So, I think I'm going to hold on to Color Spray right now. We're going to do Hurricane Bow next time. And then, depending on, what else after that. But I think these 3 spells, and then later on, hopefully... Oh, here it is. Yeah, at 3 or 4 hit die, the creature is blinded and stunned. So if it is 2 hit die or less, he gets just fucked. 3 to 4, creature is blinded and not prone. And then 5 or more, the creature is just stunned. And then at 6, it just does nothing. So if they make the save, I mean, they're fine. But if they don't make the save, they're screwed. And at early level, not many things are going to have more than 5 hit die. So, yeah, I'm picking Color Spray. I'm going Color Spray. We're going Color Spray and Enlarge Person. And then next level, we'll get Hurricane Bow. Done. Okay. So now, we've got to name the character. And again, we're choosing neutral. It reset itself because I had to go back and change some things. So what exactly are we going to do here? Well, first off, let's check a voice.
You should have run.
Okay.
Wherever my legs carry me. May I see your entrails, please?
I don't think that's where we're going with this. But nice.
Our path leads on.
So since we're playing as someone that is going to be neutral into whatever they go into, I don't want to have a specific, like, character-focused talking point. So something like Pious here.
Stand with me.
That leans towards a certain alignment. I don't want something to lean towards a certain alignment.
We won't falter. Aim carefully.
I don't know about reserve.
Heal me quickly.
I'm not feeling aggressive.
All according to plan. Hey, have a look.
Maybe Carefree. Actually, Carefree would make sense if we're going to be neutral.
Your luck's run out.
This
thinking
hurts
Carefree.
so much.
We're going to go Carefree, which means we now need to figure out a name. This is the part where I am fucking horrible. Let me take a sip of water and figure this out. I'm thinking... What am I thinking? I am thinking that we need something in the lines of the neutral. Because we're making this character based around our alignment tracker and starting at neutral and finding out where we're going. We need something that themes that. So maybe a character name that is just truly neutral. Sue? No. Well, maybe Sue. Sally? Jane? Jill? Something that's easily spoken. Sally, no. Sue, no. Maybe Jill. Actually, Jill, now that I think about it, would work. Jill. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. We'll go with Jill. Alright. There we go. Jill. Just a truly neutral name. She looks like a Jill, actually, now that I think about it. Hi, I'm Jill. Okay, sure, whatever. Next up...
Away, you rascal!
With that, we are done. We have... I'm excited. Ooh, we have coup de grace as a special ability. Oh, yeah, because... Oh, my God, the actions we can take because this is Pathfinder. I am... There is some bullshit we can do. Oh, no. Oh, I wonder if we're going to run into a monk. If we run into a monk character... Okay. Let me vocalize what I'm thinking here, because obviously that's what you're here for. You're just gonna hear me go, that's... No. So, I know that the characters in this game have their own set level ups systems. They have preset level ups. We can, if we want to, customize them ourselves, which obviously I'm going to be doing that. I'm not a coward. I am going to screw up my own game, thank you very much. But I do know that there are some that are pre-made and preset, which I do like. I'm wondering if we're gonna run across a monk character, and if so, if I'm gonna do another specific build that I had an idea of, but oh man, there is so much I can do with how many party members we may or may not get. It's gonna be a little scary, but that's for later. Right now, we have finished our character. We are truly neutral. We are Jill. We are going to figure out where our decisions take us on alignment. I am actually quite excited. I hope you are too. Let's get going and see how this adventure adventures out to be.